Hey, it's Matt, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Zillow app to find your next home. Most of my colleagues and I use an app called HomeSnap that's directly integrated with the MLS, so it gives more accurate and fast information about homes that are on the market. But I know 90% of home buyers out there shopping for a house without a realtor will use the HomeSnap app. So here I am to help, and I'll show you some pro tips along the way. Okay, here we go. So when you open the HomeSnap app, it's going to take you to a sign-in. I would sign in with Facebook. For the purpose of this video, we're going to skip this part. The app is going to ask you if you'd like to buy, rent, sell, or if you're just looking around. Again, we're going to skip this part. The location we're going to start in is Spokane, Washington, because it's the best city on planet Earth. We're going to skip the price range. We're going to skip the bedrooms. Okay, once you get into the app, it's going to pull up a map of the area you selected when you signed in. Now on mine you can see I've selected Spokane and it's made an outline of the city. It's important to know that you can adjust these borders by doing Spokane County. You can go as small as Deer Park, Colbert even. You can pick really small suburbs of Spokane and it will give you an outline of that. But when I'm shopping for homes for my buyers, usually they have a really good idea of the area they want to be in. And so we're going to type Spokane in here. And we're going to use this feature where you hit the clear button in the top right corner. It gets rid of the outline, then we're going to zoom in. Now, most of my buyers in Spokane that are first-time home buyers like to draw a line similar to this, and I'll show you just so you can see how to use the draw line. So most of my buyers like to stay right in this area of Spokane, just like this. So now this search is only going to show me homes for sale within these lines. After that, we need to go to the filters and adjust what types of homes we're viewing. So obviously, we're going to be looking for homes for sale in this example. I'm going to use a very generic example that is similar to the average home that's for sale in the Spokane area. So the first thing we're going to see is for sale, for rent, recently sold. We're going to hit for sale. You're going to see the listing type. Now on listing type, you're going to want to get rid of most of these check marks. Accepted backup offers, pre-foreclosure, foreclosed, auctions, coming soon, foreclosure. You can get rid of all of those check marks. All you really need is by agent, by owner, and new construction. Those other features are more important if you're a real estate investor and you're looking to get a smoking deal on a house that's not in tip-top shape and usually doesn't have financing available. Now price. This is a tricky one, and this is where most people without a realtor mess up. Because you've called a local lender and you've talked to them about your financial goals, you have a price range between $250,000 and $320,000. Now, in my opinion, that's still a really big price range, but it'll allow us to see some cool houses for the purpose of the video today. It's just important to know that you have a budget. You don't just shop for the homes that you can afford all the way up to the max, or you don't shop for homes without even having an idea of what you could afford. You're really just going to waste time and kind of get your hopes up. After that, we get to bedrooms. Now, bedrooms I leave alone for the most part. If you have a family and you've got 5 kids, obviously you need 3 to 4 bedrooms, maybe 5 bedrooms. But I would never put a maximum on your bedrooms because you're just potentially going to lose out on a perfect home for you that happens to have a spare room. You can hit 2 bedrooms, for example, and it will show you all of the homes with 2 or more bedrooms. Now, bathrooms I really leave alone. In this price range especially, it's pretty typical for a house to have anywhere from 1 to 3 bathrooms, and it's just usually not a big enough factor to not buy the home. I would rather be able to see the home, see all of its features, and then if it has only 1 bathroom, and that's the deciding factor, we can get to it then. But I don't want to potentially miss out on a home because I made my minimum bathrooms 2, when there could be a really nice home that you could easily add a bathroom to for 4 to 5 grand, but you missed out on that home because you set the bathroom filter up. Home type. Now again, we're going to use a very typical home that's for sale in the Spokane area. So I'm going to get rid of manufactured townhomes. We just don't have a lot of them in this area. Apartments, lots for land, multifamily, and condos. We're only going to look for houses in this example. Now, due to COVID-19, there is no open houses, so that feature is pretty irrelevant. And again, you can see the rest of the remaining features. I would put show schools on map. It's a cool feature for parents who are pretty specific on what type of school they want their kid going to. Max HOA, again, in Spokane this is going to be extremely relevant, but in a lot of major cities, if you know you're buying in a nice neighborhood, but you can only afford to pay so much in HOA fees, this is a place where you can come and set that maximum HOA per month value that you would be willing to pay. For this example, we don't need to worry about HOAs. Now, square feet. This is another big one that people who aren't in the industry get really worried about, and there's something to keep in mind. If your dream home is on the smaller side, say your dream home is only 1,500 square feet, but you knew you wanted a house for 2,000 square feet, so you set this limit to 2,000 square feet, and you eliminated all of the options that are below that size. Well, what if your dream home was 1,500 square feet and the only reason why you needed a bigger space was because you had so much, you had lots of friends over, you did lots of entertaining, you needed the room for guest rooms and things. But what if there was a house with 1,500 square feet that had a great big entertainment space and an extra guest room downstairs, and you missed out on that opportunity because you set your square footage to 2,000, just knowing that 2,000 was your limit. And then of course, if you're gonna spend $250,000, you probably want a house bigger than 1,000 square feet maybe. But for now, I'm gonna leave it. Most of the houses in this price range, the square footage is gonna be similar. And again, I just don't wanna miss an opportunity to find that right house. Lot size is the same thing. Some people think they need half an acre so that they can have some space from their neighbors and feel like they have a private home that, you know, they're not getting creeped in on. They feel like they have some privacy that they can relax in. But what if your house is, you know, on a 1/4 acre lot, but you've got a great big fence and you've got tall trees on the back of your property line, and it's a really private piece. It's a smaller lot, but because of the forest around you or the tall fence or the way the house is positioned in your lot, you might get a lot of privacy out of a smaller lot. And again, we don't want to miss an opportunity on a good home because you were too tight on your filters. So we're going to keep going through the filters. Days on Zillow gets important if you're an investor. If you want to find a home that's been on market for a really long time, you can go all the way down to 12 months even and find a home that's just not selling. If I'm an investor, I want to get a good deal, I'd maybe reach out to the owners of these homes with 12 months on the market and see if they'd be willing to come down in price and if we could work something out. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to leave it at any, and we're going to go to keywords. Now, keywords is super important if you're a mechanic or if you got kids who are dying to have a pool. Maybe you have to have the in-law suite because your grandma lives downstairs. So with keywords, this is where you would type in the word like shop, or you could type in pool or in-law suite. And again, if the realtor put the information correctly into Zillow, it will only show homes with shops, pools, or in-law suites. So in here, I could type shop, for example, hit done, and you can see we only have 2 options in Spokane within this area, within this price range. That's over 2 bedrooms. And so we're gonna hit apply. We really narrowed it down. Now I'm looking and all of a sudden I see that the schools have kind of overtaken the map. It's honestly overwhelming. So I might go back to filter and turn that off. And then if I find a home that I'm interested in, I can still see what schools that home is associated with once I find the home. So I'm gonna hit apply. There's only 2 options there. You can see where they are on the map, or you can hit list up in the top left corner, and it will show the 2 homes in a list formation. Now, normally your search should have anywhere from, you know, at least 10 to 30 options, but we got pretty specific for the purpose of the video. So we're gonna hit this house here on West Wellesley. The first thing you see is it's gonna show photos and a map of the home that you can scroll down like this. It's got the shop because we put that keyword in there. Okay, this is my first pro tip. When you find the home, it's important to know who your neighbors are. What's the road like next to the home? No one wants to buy a home with paint on the street. That means that you have a busy road. There's going to be cars driving back and forth. This is okay for a rental situation, but if you're going to be living here for an extended period of time, you're going to want to be on a little bit of a more quiet road typically, unless you're getting a good deal. So the first pro tip is to scroll down to the maps. You hit maps, and in the top right it says street view. It's important to hit the street view because then you can check out the road. See here we have 4 lanes on this house, and I'm sure they don't want to listen to all of this traffic driving by their home every day. So it's important to look at the street view. Are your neighbors parking their cars in the yard? Is the house next to you right next to the house, or is it on the other side of the lot? These are important things that you get out of the street view, and a lot of buyers don't go to the street view when they're shopping for homes on Zillow without the help of a realtor. Now we're going to scroll through the details. You can see this house has been on the market for 1 day according to Zillow. It has 5 saves. You can read information on the home, see the listing agent that is responsible for selling the house. You can even schedule showings through the Zillow app. Now it's important to know that Zillow will suggest a realtor to you to go view the home. I suggest you call a local realtor who has some more responsibility on their shoulders to keep their name in a good view in their community. As a local realtor, you can't go out and take on a million deals and do a really poor job for your clients because your name will be tarnished in the community and people will stop reaching out to you. Now on Zillow, you could potentially get a really big realtor who takes on a lot of deals, but they're not going to feel as responsible to help you and get you your perfect home because they have so many deals going on. They might have a team, they might have a process, but usually the more local, the smaller the realtor, the more attention they're going to be able to give you. Okay, as we scroll farther through the app, you can see way more information on the home. You can see the year it was
built, the type of home, the buildings that are on the property, the size of the home. You can see the layout, what type of heating they have. It'll show parking. It says here that there's a carport garage that's detached and there's off-street covered parking. So I'm assuming that's behind the home then. Maybe I wouldn't have known that from the photos, maybe I would. I didn't take
a good look. But for the purpose of this video, I just want to get you through the details so you have an idea of how to inspect a home on your phone. As you scroll through the details of the phone, you're going to find a part at the bottom of the details, and this is where most home buyers are wrong in shopping for homes on Zillow. Zillow is going to estimate the value of the home based off an algorithm they've created. And although it sometimes is accurate, it usually is not. There's a lot of factors that go into finding the value of a home, and an algorithm just simply can't do it. Now, is it a good price range? It's roughly going to be accurate to an extent, but this is the reason why realtors don't use Zillow, because Zillow is not integrated with the MLS. As information is put into the MLS, the HomeSnap app immediately gets that information and lists the home the way it was put into the MLS. Another pro tip I like to look at is the price and tax history. Zillow offers this near the bottom of the details, and it's important to know when the homeowner bought the house last. That will help you with negotiating. It gives you a better idea of when work could have been done on the house, and how updated the house could be. If a home has been purchased in the last year or two, you know that there's been an inspection recently, which means the home is up to a certain speed in theory. Now, not always, and I highly suggest getting a home inspection at any time, but for this case, it looks like the home was for sale in 2018 and 19. Let's see, let's check this out some more. Listing removed. So they've really been trying to sell this home every year for 4 years now, and it still hasn't sold. Now, the price has definitely increased, but I'm assuming because it's on that 4-lane road, they're struggling to sell. But this is important to know. They've been struggling to sell. If I'm representing a buyer who wants to buy this house to potentially invest in and make a rental, I'm gonna keep in mind that this house hasn't sold for 4 years, and they've been trying to sell it for 4 years. So even though their price is $257, I might see if they'd consider a lower price, because they've been trying to sell this house for 4 years, and clearly their pricing isn't the most accurate. Okay, so eventually you will reach monthly cost on the details of the home. Zillow has a calculation that has made this monthly cost based off of an average of what people would pay to own this home. It's important to know that every single home buyer has a different situation, and every single home buyer will pay a different monthly payment on this home, because the negotiation that goes into it, how much money they put down, the interest rate, the lender they used, the time of the year. There's so many details that go into the monthly payment that you're gonna pay on a home. I would never trust a website or an app to tell you that information. I would call your local lender and ask them directly. They're gonna have to sit down and crunch some numbers. They're not gonna be able to just guess and tell you off the top of their head. Now, this is a feature I use when evaluating investment properties, and it's okay, it's not too inaccurate. The rental value. Zillow, based off of other rentals that are listed in Spokane on the Zillow Rent app, has a calculation that estimates that this house could rent just under $1,400. Something to keep in mind if you were to buy this home as a rental investment property. Finally, we reached that point of the details that I was telling you about earlier, where you can see that if you were to buy this home, you would go to Shadle Park High School and be in that District 81 school district. Now that's about all the details I would need for right now. Now let's show you some other features that Zillow has to offer. Now say you want to save these details you put into the filters. We have a very specific home search right now, and it's December, so there's not a lot of homes for sale that have a shop, that are in this price range, that are in this area. So we only have these 2 homes, but I don't want to put all of that information back in every single time I open the app to look to see what's on the market. So I can hit Save Search here on the bottom right and name this search. I can name this Shop Home, because shop seems to be the most detailed characteristic of our filters. Type in Shop Homes, go back. Now you can have email notifications. Zillow will email you when you signed in. They will send an email to you anytime a home pops up within this criteria. I'm gonna turn that off because I don't want Zillow emailing me any more than they already do. I'm gonna hit save. Now when you open the phone, next time you open the Zillow app, you can go to updates, and it will show you any of the homes within that save search that have come up since you last opened the app. So then another feature I need to show you on the app is saved homes. Maybe you have a filter where you have 30 homes, and it's really hard for your brain to process which homes you liked. You liked so many of them. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna get rid of the keyword shop, because that's really limiting our search. And now we have 35 options. But how am I supposed to remember that house I liked 30 houses ago when I've been going through the list? So now you can hit the app and hit this heart button on the top middle of the screen, and that's gonna save your home. Now you can give information to Zillow as to why you like the home, but for now I'm just gonna hit the X and it will save that home. Now when I back out of this screen, I can go to saved homes, and it will keep every home I've saved or liked in my home search process. Okay, now let me show you some other pro tips that you can use when using the Zillow app. Say you live in Seattle and you don't know what realtor to use. Now I highly suggest asking your friends. Most people know a realtor and can suggest a realtor that did great work for them. But if you don't have many people in your area, you might have moved to a new area and you don't know a lot of people in that area, you can go to the More section on the bottom right hand of the screen, and the second column down says Find an Agent. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna hit Filters on the top right. It's already got Spokane because that's where we've been shopping for homes. Now I'm gonna hit the agent name and company. I'm gonna type in Matt. Now there's only 10 results. We're gonna hit this stud right about here. Then you can hit the contact button and let me know you watched this video, you're using the Zillow app. You've got a general understanding of the app. Now you can shop for homes on your mobile device more independently and with some pro tips given to you by a realtor. Now you know how to use Zillow like a pro, like a realtor. You can shop for homes on your own. If you have any more questions, please call me. My name's Matt Maring. I sell real estate in the Spokane area. I've set my office up to make many more videos like this, and I would appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe if you got value out of this, or if you wanted to share this with somebody else. That's it for now. Talk soon.